Welcome back. You're still watching The Agenda, and today we're busy looking at the situation that women find themselves in the film and television industry, and what can be done to improve things and change things. I want to explore a little bit about how we see women on television, how they're portrayed, and the stories that are written about women. And stereotypically, sadly, there's certain gender type to stereotyping that plays out. You're with the KwaZulu-Natal Film Commission, so you fund these films. Is there anything you can do to change the stories and the way that women are portrayed? You hardly ever see a woman as the powerful person. Usually they're the add-on to the man.
Yes, I mean, we do fund projects, and we fund based on the projects that are submitted to us by the industry. But obviously, in reviewing the scripts, and we do have panels of readers that actually look at the scripts and advise us on the content. We're very careful, and I think it's been said before, we do have to be very deliberate in terms of the kinds of projects that we support. So anything that does, portray women in a certain way, that is not the kind of project that we would want to pursue and follow. But I think in doing that, we also have to develop policy that guides us in this, because otherwise it becomes very much of one's personal opinion on a particular project. So we are at the Film Commission developing a gender policy on film, so that from a script point of view, but throughout the value chain, we are very deliberate in how we are dealing with projects and with the issues.
Okay, I'm going to jump a little because you're a script writer. Yes. When you're busy writing, are you now thinking, hang on, I have to write a stronger story for this woman? Is that something that's you're conscious of?
So yes, I have to be, because I've been given the opportunity to put something out there. I've been funded to do a project. But for me, it's very important to be truthful about women. It's easy to fall into the stereotypes of make her strong like a man. Yeah. I'm not here to be like a man. I'm enough as a woman, and I need to celebrate my womanness and explore the depths of that. So I think my biggest agenda so far in the shows that I've worked with is representation. How are women represented? How are women seen on screen? That they are not trying to be like men or being servants to men, but that they occupy their very own and natural role in society.
And there's this stereotyping, women must be beautiful and they must be sexy, and more often than men, they have to take their clothes off. How do we change this?
I think part of changing that narrative is actually getting women to actually be in position where they make the stories or they create the stories, because what you then do is the objective changes, like why am I making the story? Who am I making it for? Then comes into place, because if I'm a woman making a story about other women, then I become very careful about how do I portray women. It does not become, there was a joke happening around that, if you see, I will not mention the director, is an international director, that in all his films, women who are very powerful, that have everything, always have to fall for the security guard or the hairdresser. So it's almost like once you make it, there's no one in your level to make it. Whereas with men, it's different. So it's about actually being truthful to women. We're not all meek or all aggressive. I think we are holistic individuals, and we have to make stories that actually represent that. And it's also even in South Africa, how do we portray women? How do we make sure that they're not aggressive and or they're not playing evil people? And that they're heroes. Okay,
so we're running out of time, so I'm going to ask you all perhaps for a final thought. And Jackie, I'll start with you. But at the same time, just at the back of your thought, it's cheaper than ever before to make films now. You can do it on your phones, and you can distribute it via YouTube. Why don't women just occupy that space?
That's very true. It's more possible to produce content that speaks to what you want to portray. And I think, a lot of women are in that space and uploading that content. But I think what we're talking about is also having women more in the mainstream. Actually taking decisions in the mainstream. But definitely, it is an opportunity. I think it is a space that women should occupy. Women that are interested in the industry. Just look at the new technology that's available. Look at the platforms that are out there, and see how you can put your content out. It's a beginning. It's an easier start. It breaks down some of those barriers of entry into the industry.
So much to do.
Possible.
Final thought?
I think that we still need women to be at the top of the food chain. We need them to be the lionesses that they are, the hunters that they are. And I think we must not be afraid to say that we need them to be the best directors and the best producers, and we need them to be the ones that are driving the narratives.
All right, final thought?
I think we as women need to stand together and help each other, because that's the one way to undo this patriarchal system, is if we stand together and work together and support each other.
I think you hit that magic word, patriarchy. That's it. We're going to leave that for the time being, but I think these are conversations that we constantly need to have, and as men, be more conscious of the things that are happening around us and be part of the solution and not perpetuate the stereotypes and the issues that have been playing out for such a long time. All right, we'll be back at the top of the hour with more on the agenda. Stay with us.